Once upon a time, in a land on the east, there lived a poor but very good-hearted boy named Aladdin. Living with his mother, Aladdin did the hardest jobs, went the furthest distances, just to earn their living. One day, he was going far away to get some bananas to sell in the market. Suddenly, he came across a well-dressed man with a beard and a dark look. The man talked, showing the gold in his hands.
Hello, my boy. I'm an old friend of your father's. Would you like to win a gold coin?
A gold coin? If I pick bananas for the rest of my life, I still wouldn't earn that much money.
The man asked Aladdin to go down the hole, under the rock, a little further away, and asked him to do as he said. Aladdin thought that this was a very easy task. Together, they pushed the rock further away and watched as the hole appeared. Being as tiny and as agile as he was, he managed to go through the hole. Inside, he found a very narrow staircase, and down he went. When he made it to the bottom, he saw that the cave was lightened up with an old lamp. He couldn't believe his eyes. Inside the cave were precious stones, gold, and was full of treasure. While still at shock, Aladdin got scared from the voice he heard from up above.
Lamp! Have you seen the lamp? Turn the light out and just bring the lamp to me.
Out of all that treasure and gold that was lying there, Aladdin couldn't believe that the only thing that the man had wanted was this old, worthless lamp. Now, Aladdin was scared. Aladdin took the lamp and began climbing up the staircase. But before he did anything, the man started to yell.
Give me that lamp, quickly!
Aladdin couldn't understand the man's behavior.
First, I want to get out of here.
If you don't give me the lamp, this instant I will lock you up in this cave forever!
At that point, Aladdin knew that this man was up to no good.
No, first I want to get out of here.
All right then, you asked for it.
Hey, stop! What are you doing?
Unaware of dropping his ring in the cave, the man pushed the rock back on the hole and left Aladdin there. Aladdin saw the ring on the floor. And as soon as he picked it up and put it on, with a tremendous noise, the cave lit up in a pink cloud, and from the cloud appeared what seemed to be a giant. In fear, Aladdin took a look at the giant.
Wish for anything you want, but don't you forget, you only have 3 wishes.
I wish to go home.
Okay, my boy.
With a glimpse, Aladdin was back at home. Seeing her son appearing from nowhere, Aladdin's mum began to scream. Aladdin explained to his mother all that had happened. He told her that he wasn't able to get the gold, but instead was left with this old lamp. Wanting to clean the lamp, Aladdin began to rub it. Suddenly, the fumes coming out of the lamp covered the whole room, and a genie appeared from nowhere.
Woohoo! Wow, man, I've been trapped in this lamp for hundreds of years, and you saved me! Well, wish for anything you want.
Stunned and frozen, Aladdin and his mother kept staring at the genie. The genie repeated what he said.
Wish for anything you want. Well, in that case, prepare us a table full of delicious food and drinks.
All of a sudden, a feast table appeared in the middle of the room with all kinds of food, fruits, and sweets. From that day on, thanks to the magic lamp, anything Aladdin and his mother wished for came true. They were living a rich and happy life. A long time passed by, one day, when passing through the market, Aladdin saw Princess Jasmine, the king's daughter, on a silver throne carried by the soldiers. And he fell in love with her. He went home and told about it to his mum. And his mum prepared a chest full of gold with the genie's help and went to the castle. She told the guards that she had brought a present to the Sultan. Liking the present very much, the Sultan called her to his presence. When she told him about her son's intentions, the Sultan asked her to prove her son's wealth and power.
If your son wants to marry my daughter, tell him to send me 40 slaves, each carrying a chest full of precious stones, and they should be followed by 40 soldiers to protect them.
Hearing the Sultan's wish, Aladdin's mother turned back home sad, because she thought that even the genie would not be able to grant a wish this big. Aladdin picked up the lamp and rubbed it harder than ever, and the genie came out.
Well, wish for anything you want.
Aladdin told him about the Sultan's wishes. The genie clapped 3 times, and suddenly right beside them appeared 40 slaves with chests full of treasure and 40 soldiers protecting them. The next day, seeing that all he had wished for was right there in front of his eyes, the Sultan was very impressed. He wondered how rich Aladdin was.
I want my daughter to live in a big and fancy castle. That is the only way I will let my daughter marry you.
Aladdin told the Sultan's wish to the genie. Genie granted his wish right away. Aladdin could not believe his eyes. A gorgeous, fancy castle was standing right next to their home. He couldn't believe his eyes. Sultan thought that he could not find a richer husband than Aladdin. Aladdin and Princess Jasmine had a huge wedding that went on for 3 days. Everybody heard about Aladdin's luck and wealth, but Aladdin and his mother did not say anything about the genie to Jasmine. One day, a salesman came next to Aladdin's castle.
Old lamps! Old lamps! I buy and sell old lamps. I buy anything that's old.
Jasmine heard the salesman yelling and thought that if she would exchange the old lamp with a new one, it would make Aladdin very happy. She gave the salesman the magic lamp and got a new one. The salesman was actually the evil man who trapped Aladdin in the hole where it all started. When he got a hold of the lamp, he immediately ordered the genie to move the castle far away with Jasmine in it. When Aladdin returned home that evening, the castle was nowhere to be seen. He knew something very bad had happened. Their old house next to the castle was still standing. He ran home right away and found the ring he found in the cave. As soon as he put it on his finger, the giant appeared once again.
Wish for anything you want. But don't forget, you only have 2 wishes left.
Take me next to Jasmine right away.
As soon as he finished his talking, he found himself in the castle. He hid immediately. His wife Jasmine was serving the evil man. He was holding the lamp in his hands. When no one could see him, Aladdin put the ring back on, and the giant appeared again.
Wish for anything you want, but don't forget, you only have 1 wish left.
Let that evil man go in a very long and deep sleep.
As soon as he finished his words, he ran next to his wife. Jasmine was looking at the evil man in fear. When she saw Aladdin, she got very happy. Aladdin told Jasmine all that had happened from the beginning. Jasmine listened to him with amazement. Aladdin rubbed the lamp again. The genie appeared.
Well, wish for anything you want.
Send this evil man so far away that he can never ever find us again.
The sleeping man suddenly vanished. Aladdin asked the genie to carry the castle to its old spot.
Take us and the castle home.
The castle flew in the sky and landed back where it was before. With the castle back in its old place, Aladdin was finally next to his mother again. Aladdin, his mother, and the princess lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, there was a father wolf who went out into the woods to hunt for his family. When in the woods, he suddenly heard a sound. Looking around, he noticed a tiny baby in between the bushes. "This is a human baby," said the wolf with a big surprise. He took the baby home out of harm's way. Watching from a distance, Shere Khan the tiger got very upset because he was the one who stole the baby from the humans. Mother Wolf and her cubs love this little baby very much. "We will call him Mowgli from now on," said Mother Wolf. From that day on, Mowgli started to live with his wolf siblings in the woods. Mother Wolf took very good care of him, like he was one of her own. In a short time, Mowgli became friends with all the animals. He played games and hung around the trees with them. At the same time, he got to know the jungle. During all that time, Shere Khan, the tiger, kept watching Mowgli from a distance and waited for an opportunity to grab and kidnap him. One day, the wise wolf Akela, Baloo the bear, and Bagheera the panther came together and started to talk about Mowgli.
Human babies are very smart. Let's bring him up like a jungle boy. Baloo and Bagheera, you will protect him and teach the rules of the jungle,
said Akela. Years went by fast. Baloo the bear was very attentive with his new student. He taught him how to look for nuts and honey, climbing the trees. Mowgli listened to Baloo's teaching with all ears. Every day he climbed a higher tree and started to feed himself. Baloo also taught him how to understand the sounds of the jungle. He was proud of his student. Mowgli was running very fast and swimming very good. And Bagheera taught him how to identify the traps humans set up for the animals and how to avoid them. One day, a cub wolf ran into one of these traps. Shere Khan the tiger wanted to hunt this cub wolf and make him his lunch. But acting before the tiger, Mowgli saved the cub from the trap. Shere Khan the tiger lost once again. Baloo also taught Mowgli the magic words he can use when there is danger in the jungle. In a very short time, Mowgli learnt these words by heart. Mowgli would not be harmed by any animal in the jungle. Realizing that he was not going to be able to catch Mowgli alone, Shere Khan went next to Banderlogs, the most dangerous animals in the jungle. He told them about Mowgli.
If Mowgli teaches us everything he knows, we'll become the wisest animals in the jungle.
One day when Mowgli was making a shelter to protect himself from the storm, the Banderlogs were watching from where they were hiding. They decided to kidnap him when the opportunity came. At sunset, Mowgli was kidnapped by 2 monkeys and brought into the hills where the jungle was at its thickest. The little boy found himself in the middle of the Banderlogs. When Mowgli realized that he was kidnapped by the monkeys, he started to think. He had to reach Baloo and Bagheera and let them know. Suddenly, he noticed Chill the vulture flying up above in the sky. He remembered the magic words Baloo taught him. We are the same blood, you and I. Hearing these words, Chill the vulture immediately realized that Mowgli wasn't a stranger and that he was in trouble.
I'm little Mowgli! Could you let Baloo and Bagheera know that I'm kidnapped?
Of course I will, Mowgli, answered Chill the vulture, and flew off to deliver the message to Mowgli's friends. Banderlogs brought Mowgli to their cold cave, the Monkey Town. This place was a place in the deep jungle that humans abandoned years ago. Even though Mowgli attempted to run away, the Banderlogs outnumbered and caught him. Finding out about Mowgli's kidnapping, Baloo and Bagheera asked Kaa, the giant snake, for help to save Mowgli. They all came to the monkey town and hid behind a giant statue. From their hideout, they could see Mowgli and hundreds of monkeys around him. They started to wait for the perfect moment to take Mowgli out of there. At the right moment, Kaa said, "Now is the time. Let's go." Bagheera silently moved to catch the monkeys. Then he started to punch the monkeys surrounding Mowgli with his powerful claws. Banderlogs ran around screaming with fear, and one of them called the others for help. Suddenly, Bagheera was surrounded with lots of monkeys. Some other monkeys grabbed Mowgli and put him in a room with closed walls. Mowgli could hear Bagheera fighting with the monkeys. He remembered the water storage under the ruins of the city, and he knew that the monkeys were afraid of water.
Bagheera, run and jump in the water!
Bagheera ran and jumped straight into the water. Baloo was also attacked by the monkeys. They started to fight, and Baloo was hitting the Banderlogs with his front claws to protect himself. He was trying his best, but there were too many of the Banderlogs, and it was impossible for Baloo to fight them by himself. And Bagheera was helplessly watching him from the water, feeling very bad that he could not help his friend. When Baloo was struggling with the monkeys, suddenly Kaa came out. When Kaa started to hit all the monkeys with his giant tail, the monkeys ran away with fear. The monkeys were always afraid of Kaa. None of them could face him in a fight. So when they started to run away in the depths of the jungle, Baloo was finally free. But when Kaa opened his mouth and blew, all the monkeys stood still. Their voices suddenly went away and it suddenly became all quiet. Taking this opportunity, Bagheera jumped out of the water. Mowgli yelled from the tower he was trapped in.
I am here! Trapped in the tower!
Kaa swung his mighty tail and managed to break the walls of the tower. Freed from the walls, Mowgli threw himself out. Baloo hugged him with love.
You okay, Mowgli?
Yes, I am, but I'm very hungry and tired. You all have risked your lives to save me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Mowgli was also very happy to see Kaa on his side.
I owe you my life, Kaa. Thank you.
Mowgli, Baloo and Bagheera said goodbye to Kaa and head to their homes. Shere Khan, the tiger, realized that he could never harm someone who had such powerful friendships. and moved back into the depths of the jungle, never to return. A long time passed and Mowgli grew up to become a young man. One day he went close to the village where humans lived. He met a woman who immediately recognized him. She realized that he was the son which was kidnapped by a tiger many years ago. She put the little boy next to her in Mowgli's arms. Mowgli was very surprised because this little boy was looking very much like Mowgli's own childhood. But then he also realized that this little boy was his brother and the lady was his mother. Baloo, Bagheera and Kaa were all watching them.
From now on, you'll be next to your family, Mowgli.
Whenever you need us, you know the magic words.
You are our brother. Don't forget how much we love you. Goodbye, dear Mowgli.
His friends said their farewells to Mowgli. Mowgli lived happily ever after with his family, but never did he forget the ones who raised him, his family in the jungle.